to host the webinar session on behalf of University of Calcutta, Department of Environmental Science under the Community Outreach Program initiated by the students of Calcutta University. So today's topic of webinar is the impact of air pollutions and ways to protect ourselves and upcoming activities to be done by the Bengal Can Switch On Foundation. Before starting, I would like to introduce the speakers and professors of University Calcutta present right now with us. So we are having Mr. Vinay Jaju, the co-founder of the Switch On Foundation, O Energy, and On Skills. He has worked with various Ministry of Government of India, bilateral organizations, and such as Embassy, UNDP, WFF, and he has worked with GE Australia and Gramin Shakti Bangladesh. He is now the managing director of Switch On Foundation and looks after the daily operation of the organization. Welcome to you, sir. Along with, sir, I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, sir. Along with him, we are having Mrs. Gargi Moitra, the outreach leader of manager of Bengal Can Switch On Foundation. She has worked with Frijan as a trainee and Shini as a district facilitator. She joined to Switch On 2017. She is the coordinator of ACTS and Kolkata Clean Air. She has worked with many other organizations in collaboration. Welcome to you, ma'am. Also, we are having Dr. Punavakshu Chaudhary, Assistant Professor at the University of Calcutta, Department of Environmental Science. Welcome to you, sir, also. So, with all your permission, I would like to ask all of you to give a welcome speech and start the webinar session. Thank you. So, please. Hello, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So on behalf of the students of our department, I'm welcoming Dr. Vinay and Gargi and other participants in this webinar. And the backdrop of this community outreach activity, actually our students are participating different type of community outreach activities during their curriculum. And this is a new venture during this lockdown because, as they are not participating directly to the community due to this COVID situation. So we plan for these virtual sessions. And this is ninth session today, Pragya? This is your eighth or ninth
yes,
session?
Sir. Ninth session, sir.
Ninth session. So previously we had 8 this type of lectures and we are having 4 more. So there are 12 lectures. So this is it's our proud privilege to have this topic, air pollution. It's a very relevant topic. I think all the participants will enjoy the session. And with this, I'm handing over this dais to Dr. Vinay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much to Calcutta University for this opportunity. আমি ইংলিশ বাংলায় মিক্স করে একটু কথা বলতে চাই।
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much again. I have a presentation. It's a rather long presentation, but I will sort of breeze through it just to throw some facts and numbers on air pollution. I always have troubles with Google Meet with the presentations, but I hope my presentation, you can see my presentation. So, yeah, I believe my presentation is, everyone can view my presentation. So, air pollution, amra shobai jani, is a matter of great concern. A lot of doctors have come out. We know about COVID and the issues with COVID we've been facing for the last couple of years. But especially what is really alarming is that doctors now are coming forward and saying air pollution is an emergency which needs to be taken more seriously than COVID itself. For one reason, simple, being that COVID we understand and we're addressing that issue. We understand it's a big problem and we're addressing the issue. But with air pollution, it's an issue that we are not able to fully understand the emergency of. And sure enough, you're not taking enough measures or any measures for that matter to address the issue. So I'd like to, I believe I have 30 minutes, which has to be a mix of my lecture and some question answers. So I'll try to wrap up in 20 odd minutes. In about 6:30, I'll try to wrap this up. 6:30, 6:35, I'll try to wrap this up. But just to introduce Switch On Foundation, we are a not-for-profit based out of Kolkata. We work in the areas of clean energy access. We work in the area of sustainable agriculture, climate change and environment. I am particularly extremely passionate about climate change environment. Switch On started with a cycle ride, which I did from Kolkata to Delhi with a friend across the coal belt. We were questioning why India is so dependent on fossil fuel and why don't we look at alternative measures of renewable energy. And that led us to start Onergy Solar and Organic Foods to start promoting solar energy in villages and organic agriculture. So, but coming back to air pollution and the topic that we're talking about, so this was about 3 years back when I was reading the newspapers, and the first thing that really struck me in that newspaper was that there are 3 times more deaths. There are 3 times more deaths because of air pollution than AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria put together. And that really, I mean, I knew air pollution was a big problem. It was because of the unsustainable habits that we have. But I had no idea ki auto deaths air pollution er jonne hocche. And that really jolted me. I remember sitting that night writing emails to everyone I knew ki we need to do something about this. And from that came the birth of Kolkata Clean Air and now Bengal Clean Air Network. It's a network across Bengal. Gargi is going to talk more about that. But it is a matter of grave concern that air pollution is one of the largest silent killers in the world, and we don't even know about it. So Lancet Commission, a lot of people know about Lancet Commission, especially because of their important reviews on COVID. But Lancet Commission in 2015 said every air pollution kills 13 people every minute. And like I said, it's 3 times more than tuberculosis, AIDS, and malaria put together. What is also very concerning is that Kolkata is one of the most polluted cities in the world. Kolkata, Howrah, and Bengal as a state is one of the most polluted states in the world. There are many factors that come into play. I'm not going to go into those scientific details, but there is the geology. It's in the Indo-Gangetic plains that plays an important factor. The way, especially in Bengal, vehicle, and I'm going to talk about that later. The vehicular pollution is extremely high, and unfortunately, Kolkata, you may already know, is known as the lung cancer capital of the world, and that's a tag that none of us are proud of. And air pollution is just making it really, really worse. So what does air pollution really mean? What does it mean to all of us in our daily lives? What is concerning is that it's a young population in Bengal, and we are going to, and all of you, and all of us together, in fact, we are going to inherit this air, this polluted air that we are going to live in, which will be compromising our health. What really frightens me about air pollution is that the particulate matter is so small, PM10 and PM2.5. Eta amader veins er moddhe dhuke, amader blood stream er moddhe dhuke jay, and it affects each and every organ of our body. And in Kolkata, there are studies from University of Chicago which says that there is a life expectancy drop of over 6 years because of the air we breathe. and also the quality of life diminishes tremendously because of the poor quality of air. In India alone, there are 3 states, UP, West Bengal, and Maharashtra, that account for 40% of the air pollution related deaths. And there are studies done by CNCI, the Chittaranjan National Cancer Institute. It's a very renowned institute in Kolkata that says 70% of Kolkata's citizens suffer from respiratory disorders, which is very, very alarming. It's very frightening. In West Bengal, when we look outside of Kolkata, there are 36 cities which do not meet the air quality standards set out by Government of India. I'm not even talking about standards set out by World Health Organization. There are lots of such studies which talk about how it affects children, it affects the elderly, and that is very, very sad, and also affects the poor. So people who've not been the cause of the problem, who've not created the problem, children, infants, the poor, they are the ones who are most impacted because of air pollution, which is the same with climate change. So the global burden of disease talks about how a child every 3 minutes dies because of air pollution in India. And these are from very, very renowned papers and institutes. Now, what does this mean? What does air pollution mean to the climate and environment? It's, of course, impacts our health, but it definitely has a large impact also overall to the climate change, because the air pollution, air pollution, the sources of air pollution are also the sources which are creating climate change that we live in. And we know what climate change is already doing to our cities. I remember in 2008 when we were talking about climate change, ওই সময় climate change নিয়ে কেউ কথাই বলতো না। আমরা স্কুল কলেজে গিয়ে গিয়ে ওখানে সবার মধ্যে এই কথাটা বলতাম কি climate change, and I was of course a young man then, and I would relate with the college students, and I would tell them that we need to do something about this. আমাদের সবাই মিলে কিছু করা দরকার আছে, but climate change was not an issue back then. But today we know the last 3 years we've had super cyclones, the worst cyclones in many years. We know the way weather patterns are changing. We're seeing it right in front of our eyes playing out, and air pollution is a very, very important contributor. The source which is contributing to air pollution is exactly the source that is contributing to climate change. But there is good news. All of this is reversible, and that is why I'm here today. If I just had bad news, I wouldn't be talking to you. I'm here because there is good news. We can change this. We can reverse this. Some of you may have already seen that China's cities were the most polluted cities in the world. Unfortunately, all of India's cities have taken over China's cities, because China, Mexico, and many other countries were able to reverse this trend. They were able to combat air pollution. The simple way to combat air pollution is just address the source. Jodi amar ekta শহরে গাড়ি ঘোড়ার জন্য air pollutionটা হচ্ছে, we have to move to electric vehicles, we have to move to cycling, we have to move to non-motorized transport. যদি ইন্ডাস্ট্রির জন্য হচ্ছে, we have to put proper norms so that pollution is at the industry source. We can put up vertical gardens, urban forestry. We can address it by looking at road dust and industrial dust, which is again a big source. The waste that we generate is a huge source of air pollution. Many of you who have crossed Dhapa or some of the others big sites, waste jeta amra phele di, they catch fire and they're a big source of air pollution. So just by being able to address our consumption habits, by able to address source, by saying no to single-use plastic, and you've heard all of these things. These are things which are also that people talk about, promoting about solutions to climate change, and those are exactly the same solutions for air pollution. Renewable energy, we have to move away from fossil fuel, move to renewable energy. So these are things that are already happening, but we have to expedite, we have to speeden up the pace in which all of this is happening. So what this led to was this positivity. We came together and we said we will set up Bengal can. We are going to reach out to all stakeholders and do something about it. I don't want to talk about Bengal can very much, but Gargidi is going to cover that. But it is a positive campaign. We invite young people to come together, take action, spread the word, because এটা করা খুব জরুরি। এটা আমাদের কাছে লোকের কাছে পৌঁছে দিতে হবে। We have to start changing from ourselves, but that is not enough. We have to get our communities to change. We have to encourage our industries to change. We have to encourage the governments to recognize the problem and bring in right policy and bring in right initiatives around it. তো আমরা এখনই আমাদের অ্যাক্টিভিটিস 7টা শহরে করছি। These are 7 cities that have been identified by the government where air pollution is very high. তো এই 7টা শহরে করছি, but it does not mean we will stop here. And in this video, in this photo, you see Gargidi with a troop of young people who've been going from community to community, talking about this issue and the solutions. So what I want to talk about more importantly today is of course I've talked about health and the impact of air pollution and where it happens and how we can address it. But I want to particularly talk about one major problem. That is in Kolkata. We all live in Kolkata, and we know that Kolkata's air pollution is one of the worst in the world. In fact, আমরা সব সময় খবর কাগজে দেখি কি দিল্লির এয়ার পলিউশন খুব খারাপ, কিন্তু উইন্টারে আমরা নিজেই দেখেছি আর এটা অনেক নিউজপেপারও রিপোর্ট করেছে কি উইন্টারে কলকাতার এয়ার পলিউশন দিল্লিকেও ক্রস করে যায়। Again, there is a bit of a factor. There's a factor of the winter air and the air particulate matter sort of getting clouded around the city, but it is very dangerous for the citizens of the city. But having said that, what we have recognized is now we have to, when we see a problem, how do we address it? We first understand where is the problem coming from. And NEERI, which is a government institute, has identified that the problem of air pollution primarily, most importantly, of course there are many factors, but most important factor is vehicle pollution. And আমরা study করে দেখেছি from 2013 to 2021 গাড়ির সংখ্যা 3 times বেশি হয়ে গেছে কলকাতা শহরে। মোটরসাইকেলস 6 গুণ বেশি হয়ে গেছে কলকাতা শহরের মধ্যে। And these are of course very big sources of air pollution in the city. But what is very alarming to me is that Kolkata has restricted cycling in the city. When the whole world is talking about cycling and moving from cycling to non-motorized transport, Kolkata has taken a very regressive step of banning or restricting cycles across 62 cities. And you can see from this map, it pretty much covers the all of the city. তো আমরা শহরে আর অনেকজন মেবি নোটিস করেছে কি নো সাইক্লিং বোর্ড দেয়া আছে শহরে। And the reason why Kolkata police says this is a ban, this is a restriction put in by Kolkata police, and the reason they have said it's a cycle should not be moved because they interrupt smooth movement, they are slow moving, they create a safety threat. আর আমরা অনেক স্টাডি করলাম at Switch On Foundation over the last 1 year, since the last actually 8 years. We've been doing this for the last 8 years. 2013 থেকে আমরা এর উপরে স্টাডি করছি আর আমরা দেখলাম these are absolutely not true. And I want to talk about what other cities in the world are talking about cycling. Berlin has said 43% of Berlin does not have a car and prefer riding in cycle. So this is Germany, one of the richest countries in the world, are talking about cycling. London is, and Kolkata London hote chaiche, and London is recently built 450 kilometers of dedicated cycling tracks by 2024. In the next 3 years, it's going to have 450 kilometers of dedicated cycle tracks. And আমরা এখানে বলবো কলকাতায় জায়গাটা কোথায় আছে? কলকাতায় তো জায়গা নেই। তো লন্ডন শহর রাস্তা কলকাতাকেও থেকেও কম। These are old cities and there is restricted cycles, there is restricted road space, which obviously means it's more sensible and efficient to use cycles over cars. একটা গাড়িতে যত লোককে ক্যারি করতে পারবে ওই অত জায়গায় 15 জন সাইকেলে ট্রাভেল করতে পারবে। Rome, on similar lines, whoever are football fans, Italy is talking about cycling lanes, and Italy fans, of course. Milan is talking about cycling lane. Paris, Dublin, any city in the world, all cities in the world are talking about promoting cycling. And there are so many reasons why cycles should be promoted. It requires less space because of cycles. Injuries because of cycles, road accidents are reduced. It saves on fossil fuel. We talked about climate change earlier. It saves on fossil fuels. There is because of cycling, there is so much air pollution that can be stopped, which has a huge economic impact. What we also don't realize is when we talk about clean air, we also need to recognize that it's not just the health problem, but it's the economy that gets impacted because of poor air quality. And we already know that cycling is a preferred mode of transport across India because that's the only means of transport most people can afford. So social inclusion is a big part of cycling. By saying that Tumi cycle chalate paro na, how are we going to get milk in our house? How are we going to get newspapers in our house? How are we going to get আর এরা ডেইলি পুলিশের সঙ্গে স্ট্রাগল করে আমাদের they are keeping the city moving, and so social inclusion is an extremely important part why cycling has to be allowed in the city. Urban congestion, just imagine 5 years back তুমি কি from one point from your home to your college or to your school, and now if you make that same travel, you're probably taking double the time to get there because of the congestion the cars are creating. And if we are to move from cars to public transport, to cycling, to walking, and Kolkata is a very walkable city. A lot of things in central Kolkata, South Kolkata are very walkable. So these are things that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about sustainable transport. And safety health, I already covered Kollam. I don't want to go into details about that. But since we're talking about air pollution, let me do Howrah and Kolkata are considered one of the most polluted cities in not just the country but in the world, and it was even more polluted than Delhi, and one of the major source was vehicular pollution. So for no other reason but at least for air pollution and for social inclusion, cycling has to be promoted. So what is our proposal? I've talked about it's a simple proposal. One, cycle restrictions have to go. Second, a lot of you will say that Kolkata shore to cycle korata ashombhob, oto gari ghoda ache, ami cycle chalate parbo na. But then there are cycle lanes that can be created, and I'm not saying every road has to have a cycle lane, but we should be able to build a cycle lane. And KMDA, the Kolkata Municipal Development Authority, has built a cycle lane map for Kolkata. It already has that in place. We just have to come together and encourage the government to go and implement the cycle lane in Kolkata. And I just want to run through some quick numbers. I know I'm short of time and you would have some interesting questions, but I just want to run through some very quick numbers of some research that I have done. And why I want to show this research is to tell you that as young people, there is a lot that you can do. Don't feel that অত বড় প্রবলেম আমি কি করব, কিছু করা যাবে না, লোক এরকমই আছে, কেউ কিছু করে না, পুলিশ কিছু করবে না, গভর্নমেন্ট কিছু করবে না. No, not at all. You have the power, and you have knowledge, you have your voices that you can raise, and you can take action and make things happen. So আমরা যেটা দেখেছি কি the highest sources of death in Kolkata are not cycling. It is motorcyclists and pedestrians. They're one of the leading reasons for death. Cyclists only take a very small portion of that. When we talk about safety for others, there were over 55 lakh motorcyclists that were booked because of safety issues. Cycling cycles were a mere thousand that were booked in the last 8 years. And 80, sorry, not 55, 88 lakhs cars were booked. So if there's any restriction that has to be put in place, there has to be cars. And I'm not making it up. It's already happening in other cities. London has put a congestion tax. So any car coming into central London, they have to pay a congestion tax. They have to pay a pollution tax, a congestion tax, because there are many cities that are taking areas and saying no more cars in these areas, only walking and cycling will be allowed. So this is what cities across the world are doing. I don't see any reason why Kolkata can't do that. So, and also commuters, we went to commuters and all of them said that they want cycling to be there. 95% people feel that cycles should be there in Kolkata roads, absolutely. And also some of the other data said that that cars have increased many folds. About 3 times cars have increased in the city. And if we continue like this, the city is going to be unlivable. The city is not built for cars. The roads are not built for cars. It's built for people. And if people don't have right to be on the streets, can't walk on the streets, can't cycle in the streets, the city is not livable. The polluted air does not make the city livable. And also what's important is a lot of us feel that it's not possible to cycle in Kolkata. It will slow down traffic. To the contrary, আমরা দেখলাম আমাদের স্টাডি থেকে কি cycle is matching the average speed of Kolkata traffic. In fact, it's faster than cars and taxis. It matches the motorcycle speed. So it is not a slow-moving transport by any means. And with that, I rest my case. We are doing a large campaign around it with a lot of celebrities, influencers. We have people like Usha Uttab, Ruskin Bond, Amitabh Ghosh, who are supporting this cause. And it is what? It is a group of passionate young people coming together and raising their voices, doing their studies. And you can join this kind of movement. It's a global movement talking about the need for clean air, talking about the need for climate action. Young people, all of you heard of Greta Thunberg, I'm sure. A young girl just sitting in front of a parliament, raising her voice, asking for clean air, has shaken the world leadership. So what stops any of us to do anything that we are passionate about? And this is an issue that we all need to be concerned about, need to be passionate about, because there are solutions also to be there. আমাদের কাছে সলিউশনস আছে। এটাই কথা বলে আমি আমার কথাটা শেষ করলাম। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। I'd be most happy to interact with all of you. And this is just I would encourage everyone, if he wants to follow the work we do, Switch on India বলে আমরা ফেসবুক, ইনস্টাগ্রাম, টুইটার সব জায়গায়, ফেসবুক সব জায়গায় আমরা আছি, সুইচ অন ইন্ডিয়া। তোমরা খোঁজ করে আমাদের ফলো করতে পারো। We have a community on group on in Facebook. You're most welcome to join hands with us. Do it yourself, do it as a college, but it's time that we do something about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, so much.
Thank you, sir.
So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them.
I want to say thank you. It's a wonderful talk, and it's most relevant because we are talking about this climate action, air pollution, and if we don't do anything, so he has very nicely represented that how many bikes and how many cycles, and they have said that how we should take action right now. More about theories, but it's very important to take actions. Thank you, Dr. Vinay. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm still not a doctor, but thank you for your kind words, and it means a lot, especially coming from educationists, because you inspire and influence so many young people. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
So anybody has a question?
Sir, I have a question about.
Please.
I had read about a law that has been passed in the. You mentioned about the UK, so that reminded me of a law that was recently passed called Ella's Law in the UK. that ruled the death of a little child due to air pollution. That also sparked the debate about clean air as a human right. So
Absolutely.
I don't have any knowledge about India's situation in that case. So is India in track to pass any such laws?
I'm so glad, and I'm always just blown away by the questions and the depth of knowledge school children and college students have. I'm so happy that you know about this issue in London. So it was a remarkable judgment that came out. Nowhere has and it's very hard to point out, right? It's even today when there are flash floods in Uttarakhand or in anywhere, or if there's a cyclone in the Bay of Bengal, it's hard to say and point your fingers to it's because of climate change or it is because of air pollution. But there is growing evidence that all of this is happening because of that. But in UK, this is especially for some of the other people who may not have heard about this. In UK, a girl who died, there were studies that could really point down, and they could identify air pollution being the cause of a girl's death in a particular case. At a city level, we recognize that in India there are 3 deaths happening. 3 children are dying every minute because of air pollution, but it's hard to really pinpoint at a child level. But that happened at UK. Now, coming to your question, Shampriti, India has NCAP, which is called National Clean Air Action Program, and what they have done is they've identified cities, close to 500 cities across the country. In India, in Kolkata, in Bengal, there are 7 cities already identified. Where air pollution is extremely poor and harmful for citizens, and under the NCAP, which sits under the Ministry of Environment and Forests, they have set out a roadmap that all of these cities need to reduce their air pollution by 30% by 2024, and they've set out an agenda for this. Every city has to come up with their own clean air action plan. There are budgets available for each city to implement those action plans, but it is unfortunate that very little is happening on those lines. And this is what Bengal Clean Air, the Clean Air Network is trying to raise awareness, talk to policymakers to take up action at a city level. Because what is very interesting about clean air, so I've been a very strong advocate of climate action. But what happens with climate action is, you are talking in abstract terms. You talk about 2-degree change, what 1.5 degrees change. In 20 years, in 30 years, sea levels will rise. In 10, 15 years, polar ice caps will melt. And these are things it's very hard for a person to relate to. What does 1 degree mean? What does sea level rise mean? What would it mean to me in 50 years' time? But with air pollution, what is very interesting is that it is something that is impacting you immediately. It is something that you're breathing. You can see dirty air. You can see the smog in winters. And it should jolt us to take action immediately. And luckily for us, the action that we take on air pollution is also action that we're taking for clean air, for climate change. So the government recognizes this problem. Of course, the government machinery takes its time to move ahead, but if citizens come together, industries come together, we can expedite the government action. And like you said, government has a program. Kolkata, the Vidhanagar Municipal Corporation started to segregate waste, which is a very important step in controlling air pollution. But it's very hard for people to change habits. ओदेरके बोला होच्छे गीला कचरा एक तरफ करो, सूखा कचरा एक तरफ करो. It's a simple thing, right? Put your wet waste in one bucket, put your dry waste in one bucket. The wet waste is treated separately. It doesn't have to go into the landfill. The dry waste can be recycled. So our landfills are not populated with all of this waste that we are creating. But people are just not being able to change their habits. And this is where you and I come in. This is where you and I can reach out to houses, to communities and say, এটা আমাদের করা দরকার আছে। এটা যদি আমরা কলকাতাকে ভালোবাসি, যদি আমরা কলকাতার মধ্যে থাকতে চাই, if we want to see ourselves and future generations to inherit Kolkata, enjoy Kolkata the way I have enjoyed this city so much as a child, but I am scared what is going to happen to children who are going to grow up, or even some of you young people who are going to grow up in this city. So these are steps that we need to take collectively, all of us collectively.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, is it possible to introduce congestion charge in Kolkata, especially in multiple tram lines?
Shoma, your voice is breaking out. Can you put it in the chat box, please? But I think you were talking about congestion charge. But if you can just type it in the chat box, that'd be great. I wasn't able to hear your question. But yeah, while that, if there's any other question, please feel free to unmute.
Just I have a query.
Yes, sir, please.
So, is there any separate traffic rule for cycling?
No, sir. So in Kolkata, cycles in 62 streets are restricted. That is one law that has been passed by Kolkata Police. But of course, a lot of people need to cycle to work, and many times they have to go through a lot of harassment. But coming to cycle rules, a lot of cities are prioritizing cycles across the world. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that more and more people cycle. They incentivize cycle. Rajkot has started to give a subsidy for people who want to buy cycles. In fact, Bengal has a very important Kanyashi program which has been recognized globally, where cycles were given out to girl childs for going to school. This is a very successful program. But unfortunately, these cycles are not getting promoted in Kolkata. So sure enough, there should be positive laws promoting cycling. Is what I would like to say.
না একটা জাস্ট আমি একটু শেয়ার করি যে লকডাউনে তো প্রচুর লোক সাইকেল নিয়ে বেরিয়েছে এবং যে 62 রাস্তাটার এর নিয়মটা এখন মানা হচ্ছে না। সো এখন নাও এভরি রোড ইজ ওপেন, বাট হোয়াট আই এম ফিলিং, কারণ আমি নিজে সাইক্লিং করি রেগুলার, এবং এটা করতে গিয়ে যেটা মনে হয়েছে আমরা কলকাতাতে একদম ট্রাফিক রুল মানছি না যারা সাইকেল নিয়ে বেরোচ্ছে, এবং এটা যদি ট্রেন্ড হতে থাকে তাহলে কিন্তু আবার এই রেস্ট্রিকশনটা আবার শুরু হয়ে যাবে। যদি যারা সাইকেল নিয়ে বেরোচ্ছে তারা যদি ট্রাফিক রুলটা প্রপারলি মেনটেন করে, দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম দে আর ভায়োলেটিং দ্য সিগন্যালস। দিস ইজ মাই
I fully agree with you. এই জন্য আমরা একটা ক্যাম্পেইন শুরু করেছি, দুটো কাজ করছি ওখানে। একটা তো প্রত্যেক সাইক্লিস্টকে আমরা একটা রিফ্লেক্টিং স্টিকার সাইকেলের উপরে লাগাচ্ছি, প্রত্যেক সাইকেল মানে যতটা আমরা পারি। আর সেকেন্ডলি ওদেরকে বলা হচ্ছে হাউ দে শুড মেনটেন ট্রাফিক রুলস।
ইয়েস, ইটস ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট।
But sir, what I would like to also add to what you said, this was actually a discussion I was having with one of senior journalists in Kolkata. So this is a problem with not just cyclists but even with pedestrians. আপনি দেখবেন পেডেস্ট্রিয়ানরাও কোনো রুল ফলো করে না, গাড়ি আসছে দৌড়ে স্ট্রিটটা ক্রস করে। সেম উইথ সাইক্লিস্ট, গাড়ি আসছে ওরা লাল বাতি করা আছে কিন্তু চলে যাবে। One of the key reasons, in my opinion, is they don't feel part of the system. They don't feel part of the city. They don't feel recognized. And as soon as they start feeling recognized, and as soon as priority is given to them, amra baire dekhi, in different countries we see that pedestrians have the right of way. They are given more preference in cars.
Yes.
And as soon as we do that, they start feeling part of the system. They will start following the rules. That is one. And secondly, sir, another very important thing I noticed, 5 বছর আগে কোনো motorcyclist Kolkata, I won't say kono, but most motorcyclists in Kolkata would not wear helmets. but
Okay.
a consistent effort from Kolkata police to campaign for use of helmets. And খুব সুন্দর ক্যাম্পেইনিংটা করা হলো কলকাতা পুলিশ দারুণ ক্যাম্পেইন করলো সেভ লাইফস বলে একটা সেফ ড্রাইভ সেফ লাইফ বলে একটা ক্যাম্পেইন করলো and now every motorcyclist, and there were two things: one, there was a campaign; two, there were heavy fines. And now we see every motorcyclist is wearing helmets.
Yes.
And I have full confidence that in Kolkata, a similar campaign and strictness of rules will make sure cyclists start following rules. I have full confidence, and we are there. We've written to Kolkata Police that we want to work with Kolkata Police in running a campaign like this. But your points are very well taken, sir. I fully appreciate what you said. But sure enough, cyclists will follow rules. I'm sure they will, and they need to. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Right. Shomo's question is here. I can quickly read it out and briefly talk about it. Is it possible to introduce congestion charge in North and Central Kolkata? Absolutely. There is no reason why it should not. First thing, before congestion charge, what North Kolkata and Central Kolkata should do is restrict parking. That is the first thing we should do. It is absolutely shocking to see two lanes on a road getting blocked because of parking. It makes absolutely no sense. There should be some places within North Kolkata, Central Kolkata, which should be absolutely barred for cars to enter. Only people should be walking in those places. And any car coming into that area must have to pay very high congestion charge, must have to pay very, very high parking fee. We have to, in today's time, we are encouraging people to drive. It is a very, very sorry fact, but that has to be different. Your other question is introduce multiple tram lines in the major boulevards and right of way access. Absolutely. I mean, it is so sad to see that Kolkata is the only city in the country and one of the very few cities in the world that has the tram infrastructure in place. It is the best form of electric vehicle that we can talk about, but we are not recognizing and not modernizing that and not regularizing that. As soon as we do that, a lot of people will switch to trams. It's a beautiful way to travel the city. We are taking away tram lines. We are taking away trams of these lines, but that absolutely has to change. Right. I think I've done most of my time, but if there are one or two questions, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, Gargidi has some very interesting, presentation herself.
Any more questions? So thank you, sir, so much for saying a lot in a very short time. Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot. Yes,
Thanks
sir?
for reminding me. I end up talking a lot, but
No, sir.
but Gargidi, why don't you put your presentation up? While you're doing that, I'll just like to wrap up saying thanking Calcutta University and the teachers and the students who've come in today for inviting us. Hope we can work together, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much again for this opportunity. I'm very excited to see what the presentation Gargidi has to show. Gargi is going to talk about a cohort that we run with young people who can take action in their communities. So I hope a lot of you can come together. I come with a message of hope. I come with a message of positivity that we can make a difference. So that's right. Are you having troubles with the your presentation can be seen now. No, just before that.
Mute actually.
Yes, I'm just showing the presentation.
Yes,
Just a minute.
You would need to go to the presentation slides. You're
Yeah.
on your yeah. Now
Is
we
this
can see.
visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pragya, for giving me this opportunity and giving us this platform to share this Bengal Can, the initiative and the activities that we do. So firstly, I'll just very quickly brush on with the activities, because after this presentation, I'll also want to introduce you to the Bengal Clean Air Champion cohort. So here we I'll just so about the Bengal Can project. I'll just tell you that it's a project which was set up to create a statewide clean air network across 7 non-attainment cities, and we wanted to reach out to all the stakeholders at the from Bengal, and initiate a campaign which talks a lot about air pollution, creating awareness about its effect, and also how to generate solutions towards the effect of air pollution. So we engage with doctors, youth, children who play a very key role, who and are the central influencers in the society. Then we have the theory of change, like how can we actually create that change that we want to want the city to look at. So the theory of change was pretty simple. Like we wanted to involve children, doctors, citizens, businesses, administrations, and we wanted to do it through solutions. So we wanted to engage them through various activities, like with the youth and the children. We wanted to engage them. We wanted them to be part of workshops, competitions, and there we also wanted to have. We also thought that air quality, if we don't show to people that it's bad, then people won't. I'm sorry. Then people wouldn't recognize how bad air quality is. So we had to do real-time air quality monitoring, which was again taken up through various campaigns and through various awareness programs. And this was again through these campaigns that we put it out in the front that yes, air pollution is a problem. And we developed from these initiatives, we developed our advocacy, we developed our actions, we developed media effects, which again amplified to create lifestyle changes and implement policy and support the policy level implementation, where in the last few years we have seen that some policy level changes were made when electric vehicles started flying on the streets, when there were air quality monitoring stations that were started. So there were 20 other air quality monitoring stations apart from the continuous monitoring stations that were there. So these were some of the effects that happened. I wouldn't say that it was just because of us, but it was something that we had also aimed towards doing. So, as you have seen earlier, that we operate in 7 non-attainment cities across Bengal, and so what were the objectives and outcomes of the Bengal Can? So, objectives and outcomes were very simple: to create that change and that dialogue among the citizens, among youth, and let us be driven by solutions and with positivity. And that's how we were able to create that's how we would be able to create positive changes and lifestyle changes among the citizens and the people, and which will in turn help us create a better environment for us. So the campaigns and the campaigns and lifestyle changes that we had, or the campaigns that we have done recently, are: so Bengal Love Cycle is the biggest campaign of Bengal. It's one of the big campaigns of Bengal Can. Here, so the cycle ride, as Bengal Love Cycle came together, we had organized cycle rides with various cycling groups across Bengal, appealing the administrations everywhere across Bengal for a cycle safe infrastructure. So this was done through various activities. There were 23 cycling groups from 14 cities and around 400 cyclists who participated in World Car Free Day. There were other activities where cyclists are part and parcel of all the activities that we do, because that is one very sustainable mode of transport that we believe in. Now, on the Kolkata cycle ban, so as we all know about the cycle restrictions, we had gone straight ahead with press conferences. We had also appealed to the chief minister and the Department of Transport and the Kolkata police to start remove the cycle ban and start let us cycle in the streets with cycle safe infrastructure. So this is an ongoing this thing, but we have been able to initiate in the recent newspapers. You would be able to you'll be able to see that there were Kolkata police identifying that yes, cars is, they're acknowledging the fact now that yes, cars is the big problem. There is KMD again who has the cycle tracks, who have already planned for the cycle tracks, so we can see the changes happening. So most one important strategy that we apply is that we always reach out, we always try to get as much media coverage as possible, because that's how we reach to lakhs and lakhs of people and motivate them to be part of what we are doing as a small group of people here. So we had lot of media coverage earlier. So another thing that we emphasize a lot is the change in the lifestyle, or the change in which we celebrate. So we must all celebrate responsibly. Diwali is the time where the most of the air pollution levels rise. So post Diwali, we see that the air pollution, there's a sudden spike in air quality, and it continues throughout the day. It continues throughout the year until it is next, until March. It continues from November till March. There's a high spike in air quality, and nowadays though it's become that air quality, the deterioration in the air quality is going to hamper a lot more because of the COVID, because of COVID, and especially those who have been recovered from COVID are also going to be affected. So that's why we ran this campaign called Smoke Free Diwali. We had, again, whatever we do, we we have a joint effort. We wrote an open letter to the chief minister requesting the ban on firecrackers, and at the same time, we also showed creative ways in which we can celebrate our Diwali. So there were various competitions that were held for children to, celebrate the celebrate Diwali in a smoke-free way. Again, we had the cycles with light parade, where the cycles were beautifully decorated with glittering lights, and everybody across the city, in all across Bengal, we did this with all the 14 to 21 cycling groups and more than 500 to 600 cyclists being part of this. So our main aim is to always thrive for that other alternative, for that positive solution that we can find in in whatever problems that we are facing. So we always believe in creating positive solutions. So again, we had a good media coverage for this, and a lot of people across the state got to know about these campaigns. Then we again had the Clean Air Action Day. So this was near to the elections, where we wanted the political parties to include in their manifesto to reduce air pollution levels by 20 to 30%. And so we again, the structure of the activities was the collective structure. We again reached out to all 7 cities. We organized events. We did photo ops. We requested children to write letters, and well, most of the political parties in their manifestos had included the reduction in air pollution, especially, and that was something which was acknowledged by all media houses as well. So this is so this was the manifesto. So we developed the manifesto, we put it out in the open, and we also went for a signature campaign where everybody, where we wanted people to be involved and go through the manifesto and put their signatures to improve the air quality of the city. So these are some of the campaigns. So these are some of the. So once, so how we create, like I was saying, like we create lifestyle changes, and this is how we do it. So one is the campaign, and second is the initiatives that we take. So here we have the Clean Air Champions cohort that I'll just show you in another 5-10 minutes time. And this is where youth and professionals from across the state come together under one umbrella called the Clean Air Champions cohort. They then develop their self-initiated projects, and with our guidance, through the guidance of our mentor, through the guidance of the mentors that we connect them to, they create their own pet projects, and these pet projects they implement on themselves, they implement themselves, and we have this small seed fund which we give them. So through these seed funds, they are able to make their prototypes, they are able to develop they are able to do the activities of their own, they are able to involve their friends, families, and the counselors or the administration in their localities across the state, and do the activities themselves. So they champion, they become, they are then championed, they champion their own cause. So for example, if a person living in Barashat thinks that plastic is a problem, so once they're part of the cohort, they develop the project, they implement it, we help them with the implementation, we fund them, and they get it done that plastic is banned in their areas, or whichever way he or she thinks that banning or reduction of plastic is possible, they do it. So that's one of the cohorts. Then, so the cohorts are also become our extended hands, where they can, they want to do activities on specific days, we encourage them, they take up projects, they do activities on their own. These are some of the activities of the cohorts. And of course, why, you always know that the dynamites come in small packets, right? So the children from the school, they are small, but trust me, they are just straight out in the open. They are very, very intense, and they are very, very like, they will be the change makers. They are sure of it. So we also encourage schools to take up project, to be part of activities, and mostly for schools we have competitions, because of which the children, they then are part of these competitions, and their parents also become part of competitions, and their parents also help them recycle their waste. Their parents help them have celebrate smoke free Diwali. The parents help them pledge on uh, uh, not wasting environmental resources, on conserving energy. And that's how we try to bring about that change. So if a teacher says that don't burst firecrackers, a student will go back home and tell their parents that, Papa, I'll not burst firecrackers this time, this Diwali. And that's what the network is all about. So we also have workshops and trainings, and uh, with the Bengal Clean and Network, so we have been partnering with various organizations. Goldman Sachs is one of them, and Goldman Sachs has been with the Goldman Sachs. We have had workshops where we trained the children to do air quality monitoring, and the sessions were taken, and the children then presented their own experiments on air quality monitoring. So these are some of the workshops. And again, the events. So there are various events that we organize, and through these events, we encourage students and teachers, youth, and also professors to be part of these events, where they are actually able to put their thoughts into action. Also, what we believe is that one way action and activities of just involving citizens, children, and is not going to help. So we have to involve the stakeholders, especially the administrations and the people, so that there is a two-way effort, where there is one way where we as citizens are coming forward, and the next where the stakeholders are also coming forward, doing their bit towards implementation of laws in action, so that it becomes more, the change becomes more sustainable. So So on the World Health Day, we again had we had doctors come across, like all eminent doctors from the city come across, highlighting the fact that yes, air pollution is a problem. Bursting firecrackers in Diwali is going to be a problem, especially for the COVID patients. And we had again reached out to the chief minister with an open letter which was signed by several doctors and doctors associations from across Bengal and also across India, sharing the fact that a health advisory on air pollution must be sanctioned, and during Diwali the firecrackers must be banned, and that's what exactly happened. So this is what this happened across the other cities, and this happened here as well. Then we have the urban mobility stakeholder sustainability mobility Kolkata, and there is then we also have some research and policy level advocacy done at the city. So this was the with the completed so we have these research papers and research articles that were completed. So we have the report on how firecrackers are becoming a problem across the city. We have the state of Bengal's air quality reports. So there are various reports that on traffic congestion surveys, on traffic congestion mapping. We have also reached out to the Kolkata police for RTIs, and we have compiled reports which actually back our plan, our actions, and uh, our plans and the engagements that we do. So these are some of the reports and these are some of the research ideas. So we are very open. We involve students, teachers, professors to be part of the research work that we do. The research work done, uh, most of the research work are done across all the 7 non-attainment cities. Some are done specifically for Kolkata. So please feel free to volunteer or be part of the research activities, and help build these research reports for us. Um, and for the way forward, we have the next steps here. So we would always so with the upcoming campaigns, we demand for safe cycling infrastructure. For the workshop, we have workshops and training projects. We would have workshops on energy audits, on waste collection, etc. And these are the policy level white papers and interventions that we plan to do, especially policy briefs on cycle sustainable mobility, and action plan on for clean air in Bengal. We are also going to plan our next phase. So Bengal can build. We are just planning to take it up to other cities, other surrounding cities across Bengal, and also extend our network to cities across the country. This is a team that we work with, and they have been our partners. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will also share. I would also like to just welcome questions. I'm just stopping the screen sharing now so that I can get the next presentation ready. I would just request anybody to ask any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. If anyone has questions, please free to ask.
Ma'am, I had a question about the next phase, uh, which you showed that to promote cycling and various laws are also some laws should also be implemented regarding cycling. How long should this take, according to you, to spread this awareness? Because cycles have been used since a long time, but right now most people are, due to the less traffic, they have been using cycles. But when this goes back to normal, how should we promote cycling so that it can be used by most of the people?
So Shoham, I would just like to say that see cycling cycle has to be an inclusive mode of transport for now. So for now, it seems like cyclists are completely neglected. They don't feel part of the system. But what we need is that. But what we need right now is for the administration to think holistically and involve the cycle safe infrastructure. So that how long will it take, brother? I don't know because. But everything is moving. I'm just keeping you assured that people are thinking. We are also trying to engage experts and people as much as possible, and we are also trying to put this forward through cycling networks and people to keep the notion moving. I'm sure within the next few years we will be able to see a city which has proper cycling lanes.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? I hope everyone's doubt and clear is there. Hello?
So I have another presentation on the cohort which I would like to run through very quickly.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Gargiri, can you also rotate your screen when you're presenting?
Okay. So I'll just start the presentation with the cohort. This Clean Air Champions cohort is the second batch of cohort that we are doing this year. The first batch of cohort we had around.
We can't see the presentation.
Yes, I'm just briefing. So I'll just start the screen share. Is it visible now?
Yes, but if you can also rotate your screen, please. Make your phone horizontal.
Okay. I don't think that's possible with this phone.
No worries. Let's just go through this.
Yes. So I'll just cut the camera so that the network is not a problem. Yes. So the Bengal Clean Air Champions cohort is basically a group of youngsters. They are youth, professionals, and they are from various different walks of life, and they come together under the umbrella called the Bengal Clean Air Champions cohort, where they form their own teams. They are connected to experts who become their mentors, and they implement their projects, which are their pet projects, their very own projects, and they do it across, and they can do it anywhere across the state. So so why did we need the Bengal Clean Air Champions Squad? Because the youth population is the 30% of population, and youth become the major force of action. So so once we see the once we are able to identify the crisis that everybody is going through, we see that there's 70% of the people of the citizens suffer from respiratory problems. Obviously we don't want as youth to stay in a city like this, right? We want to immediately shift to a new place, but why do so? Why do we want to do so? Why can't we change the city where we are living? But of course it and most of us would say that no, it's not possible, but of course it's possible, right? Many other cities, as you've seen in the other presentations, you've seen how many countries have done it. So and of course it's a lot of them, if you see their stories, are youth driven. So so that's where we introduced the idea of the Bengal Clean Air Champions Cohort. So, what is the Bengal Clean Air Champions Board? Like I said earlier, it's a group of clean air enthusiasts who are very much focused towards reducing air pollution, who are very much focused on uh, uh, conserving the environment, making things around them sustainable, and in the process, learning how to be innovative, how to understand projects, how to implement projects, how to understand how to develop communications. Bring that message out uh, from their minds and reach and bring it out and make it available and outreach to a lot of their friends and families so that they become involved in this. So so that's how the project is. So that's what the cohort is about, right? It's about ideating, it's about initiating, incubating and scaling up. So once you ideate, you learn what is you learn about your locality, you learn about the problem, then you understand that okay, this is the solution, then you initiate your project. You Once you initiate your project, we understand that okay, this is the capacity of the project, and this project has that capacity to make that level of that certain level of change. Then we incubate the project, we help you incubate the project, we connect you to experts who become your mentors, and then you finally start successfully implementing project and scaling it up. So but where then again, how do we do all this? Because now it's COVID era, right? And we are not able to do much so physically. So we have various methods. So one is through workshops where we train you. Now these workshops act so these all these opportunities that are given to you, some are voluntary opportunities, like you can take up workshops, you might not, but some are very mandatory workshops that you have to be that has to be taken once you're part of the cohort. Then along with the cohort, what you do is, just to give you a kickstart, you become part of some initial micro projects that we do. So these micro projects are some, like on specific days, like on the Earth Day or the World Environment Day, we do a project. You see, and you volunteer with us. You become co-organizers, and then you learn. And in the next event, like for example, we have the next event like the National Nature World Nature Conservation Day. You take up your own project. You do your own uh, competition. You do your own drawing competition, or anything you want to do, online competitions in your area or in among your friend circle. So that's how you become you are trained in the workshop to create communication material, to become the to understand leadership, to understand project management, and then you implement it through your networks and your friends. uh, okay. And so these are just more informations on what can be implemented and what are the important these things. So micro projects, so these are micro, so you can implement micro projects on the very lines in which we work. Some can be other projects which uh, you would like to take up on your own, but we usually work in areas of sustainable mobility, air pollution, health, waste segregation, air pollution reduction, air quality monitoring, etc. Um, and you can you can always support the projects by become co-organizers, like I said, or you can do your own projects at your own locality, and we will be happy to support that. So these are some of the things that can be implemented. These are some very general ideas. I'm sure you can think as much as you want, and you can just develop more ideas of your own, and develop. If anybody is interested, they can be part of the cohort. They can develop new projects, etc. So these are usually these are usually things that these are activities that we usually do. So there are, every year we will definitely have doctors week. We will have workshops on waste management, activities on waste management, um, and air quality monitoring is a big thing that we do during the winters, like just straight out, like from August we start this activity. These are some of the projects, we are portable projects that we keep working on, and you can pitch in, you can come in and see how things are done and then do one of your own. But who can be part of this cohort? So under the definitely the youth, we are targeting the youth because they have the creative and the passionate minds. There are, so ideally anybody under the age of 30, passionate about environment, passionate about curbing air pollution in the city, and professionals, of course, who have innovative ideas. Anybody as such under the age of 30 can be part of the cohort. So these are some of the things that will happen in the cohort. We will train you through workshops. We will train you to ideate and create your ideas, jot them down into various specific tasks, and then achieve those tasks with suitable targets within suitable deadlines. And we do this on regular basis. We keep monitoring. We keep keeping in touch through short catch-up calls over weekends, where everybody is welcome to join, share their problems or their new ideas, and we are happy to give feedback. We occasionally also have experts join us. You have your mentors who you can go up to and share your ideas with, and that's how we go about this cohort. It is something that we have been doing for around a year now. So, as a clean air champion, what are you getting? So, you will obviously be part of a cohort. So, you will be getting certificates and awards for successful completion. There are two ways in which we fund projects. So, there are small projects, which are around small projects for around 2,500 to 5,000, we fund for them. And if there are big projects, over the year projects, that we have a seed fund which the network has gathered, the Bengal Clean Air Network, and it's a seed fund of about 10,000 to 25,000 rupees. And yeah, sorry. So so we fund those projects as well. But of course, everything has a very crucial and the selection criteria is very crucial. We give a lot of preference to groups. We give a lot of preference to innovative ideas and creativity, and there are a lot of and the selection process is a bit rigorous. But I can give you 100% guarantee that if anybody is part of the cohort, they're going to like it and they're going to take back a lot from it. So these are some of our experts who have been part of the cohort, and our mentors who have been guiding the cohort members for the past 1 year. And they have been our partners. So this is a quick how to register So this is a link which I can, we will be putting it up on our social media handles very soon. And we are actually doing this. We're opening up the links on 12th of August, which is the which is an International Youth Day, and will be open for applications then on. Thank you for your attention. And the first workshop of the cohort is in October. The upcoming activity is the World Nature Conservation Day, which is on 28th of July. And of course, on the International Youth Day, we have we are opening applications for the cohort as well. So again, I'm wrapping up the presentation here. Any questions, please? I'm very happy to answer.
So any more questions or any queries, feel free to ask.
Ma'am, about the cohort, regarding the cohort, the link you will be sharing, ma'am, should we present an SOP or something? We have to prepare an SOP and then present it or something like that? Statement of purpose for being a part or being selected?
No, it will be it is a registration form. You will fill the registration form itself. Will have some questions. Based on these questions and your answers, we will be able to select the participants for this.
Okay.
And we will be sending out, so how we reach out to all colleges is we send out we'll be sending out emails to your professors. So we don't send out, this will also be out in our social media domain as well. We will also have an activity around this where we will first invite everybody to be part of the activity, and then we will launch open the registrations for the cohort. So we will send you emails to your professors, and then from then on you can take up the registration form.
So I want to add something, Gargi, with your permission.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
That previously our students did their MSc dissertation with this organization, and it was
right,
a very
Anish.
Yeah, it's a very nice work, and now Anish is doing his higher studies in UK, and he's still in touch with us.
Oh, very nice, sir. That's very
এখন
nice.
ইউকেতে রয়েছে এবং ও এই কাজটাকে নিয়ে কিন্তু অনেক দূর অবধি করেছে, মানে প্রজেক্ট শেষ হয়ে যাওয়ার পরেও কিন্তু ইজ কন্টিনিউইং, এবং ওখান থেকে ও ছোট ছোট করে ওই কাজগুলোকে কমপ্লিমেন্ট করেছে আমাদের রিসার্চ টিমের সাথে, এবং মানে ও এখনো টাচে আছে এই কাজটার মধ্যে। এবং আমি আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বলবো, যদি ইফ ইউ আর ইন্টারেস্টেড দে ক্যান বি পার্ট অফ দিস ক্যাম্পেইন। এবং গার্গীদের সাথে আমাদের অনেক দিন ধরে ডিপার্টমেন্টের সাথে প্রোগ্রাম, এবং একটা ইনিশিয়েটিভ গার্গীর মনে আছে কিনা জানি না, আমরা চেয়েছিলাম সায়েন্স কলেজে একটা ইনস্ট্রুমেন্ট বসিয়ে কন্টিনিউয়াস মনিটরিং এর এরো ওয়েদার সে একটা ইনস্ট্রুমেন্ট।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আমরা ওটাও করতে পারি স্যার, বাট এইটাই আর কি যে একটু কন্ডিশনস গুলো হলে we would definitely want the students to come forward and initiate activities with us. So we can definitely we'll try to do it.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমার এবছর ইচ্ছা ছিল প্রজ্ঞা এটাকে কন্টিনিউ করুক, কারণ সেরকমই কথাবার্তা হয়েছিল। আলটিমেটলি তো কোভিড সিচুয়েশনের জন্য হলো না, বাট অ্যাটলিস্ট একটা এরকম ওয়েবিনার হলো, এটাও খুব ভালো লাগছে এবং অনেকে পার্টিসিপেট করলেন, এবং যে আলোচনাগুলো হলো ইট উইল বি ভেরি হেল্পফুল ফর আওয়ার স্টুডেন্টস হু আর রিয়েলি ইন্টারেস্টেড টু কন্ট্রিবিউট এই সিচুয়েশনের মধ্যে। দে ক্যান বি মোটিভেটেড to this webinar. Thank you, Gargi.
Thank you, sir. Just one request, Pragya, just sir, also one request. I would request everybody to please switch on the cameras. It's a customary photograph that we take. So if Pragya, if you can ask everybody to
everyone, please please open your camera.
We are opening it. আমি একটু বেরিয়ে যাব, তার আগে একটুখানি রিকোয়েস্ট করছি গার্গি এবং বিনয়, আমরা একটা ফিডব্যাক ফর্ম পাঠাবো তোমাদের কাছে, সো কাইন্ডলি ফিল আপ দিস ফিডব্যাক ফর্ম, হোয়াট ইজ ইউর ওপিনিয়ন এন্ড হোয়াট উই ক্যান, হাউ উই ক্যান ইমপ্রুভ দ্যাট দিস ইনিশিয়েটিভ, because it is a mainly initiative taken by our students. We need your positive feedback regarding the improvement of this program. So
I have sent the link, ma'am. Sir, আমি লিংকটা দিয়ে দিয়েছি।
না এই লিংকটা নয়, এটা
আমাদের link।
ডিপার্টমেন্ট থেকে another link, so you give send me that email address and other things, and we will do it from our official email address.
Right.
Okay.
So everybody, if you can just take.
একটু মানে ছবিটা যদি তুলে নেওয়া যায়, কারণ from 7:30 I have another meeting, please.
Okay. So Vinada, if you can just take the picture, I'm not able to. I'll just take a screenshot. So there's one.
তোকা তুমিও একটা স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে নাও।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, সবকটা স্ক্রিনের প্রোগ্রাম একটা স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে নাও, আমি এখান থেকে সোয়াইপ করতে পারছি না।
আমি
Okay, and we are having another session of this series in tomorrow. Shoham,
Yes, sir.
you are having tomorrow?
Sir, I am having the session on day after tomorrow, Sunday.
কালকে কারো আছে?
হ্যাঁ
স্যার, সম্প্রীতির আছে।
সম্প্রীতি।
Yeah. Sampriti, you can announce your program here so that if somebody is interested here, he can join your program. And with all your permission, I am leaving. Good night to all. It's a very nice time with you. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, Gargi. Thank you, Veena, and the other participants. Okay, good night to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please kindly fill up the Google form. Thank you.
Right.